Well, welcome to the tabletop conversation for September.
Oh, for the long spoon.
For the long spoon.
Oh, this is so fun.
Here we go. We're all set.
We have a topic that we're going to all speak about together so we can easily enter the very deep magic of our lives. So the collage says, allowing all the folded matter, and you're looking at it here, to crease, you become sovereign. Now that's kind of, but if you, as you go through the process of change, you feel yourself being creased. You feel this, and this is just literally giving you the magic of seeing it in so many levels. Now we're going to read about it, and then we're all going to talk about it. You want to read?
Oh, yes. Allowing all the folded matter to crease, you embark on a transformative journey that leads you towards sovereignty. As each experience, challenge, and triumph leaves its mark on the map of your existence, your spirit unfurls and stretches, embracing the intricacies of life. Folding and unfolding, you become intimately acquainted with the fragility and resilience hidden within the crease. Each fold adds another layer of wisdom to your being, reminding you that the true sovereignty is not found in avoidance or resistance, but in fully embracing and integrating all that comes your way. It is in surrendering to the creases that you discover your own power and emerge as the unwavering ruler of your own destiny.
Oh, I love
That's a sovereign statement.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And this is quite much of what we're entering and been in this last month, and really spreading out into in the next month. There is a fragility in this time right now, and there's a thinning of the veil and a thinning that happens, and we've all experienced this, and we're going to talk about it so that we can share that depth of this time with you all. Anybody want to talk first?
Well, I love the part about the fragility and the resilience as well. And one of the things that I think we've really discovered is that thinning that you talked about, where you feel so emotionally, spiritually, even physically fragile and thin. Like you feel everything, you sense everything, you're sensitive to everything. And it makes you feel really fragile when you're in that space.
You're like a potato chip ready to crumble.
Exactly. But we've also found out that that's exactly, you have to be willing to go to that place before you can crease. You can't crease if you're thick. So we talked about how we become that thin.
Help crease the fold.
Yeah, you become really thin so that you can crease yourself. You can crease and create a fold that will corrugate you into the next level that you're shifting into. But if you stay in this space where you have all this defensiveness and thick armor built up around yourself, you can't bend and fold into a crease that's thin enough to actually last. The crease will just pop back open. You know how when you try to crease too thick a paper and it just unfolds itself again? But if you've got the thin enough and the deep enough crease, it holds, it sets.
Well, and that fragility, if you're very sensitive, it's a little scary.
Yes, it is.
You kind of want to, it's like the poem we're reading, the thing, it's like being more naked than you've ever been.
Yeah.
And if you're not really comfortable with being naked, you're going to be a little more fragile.
Yeah.
And I find that too.
But I think you find your resilience in doing that. So I love that statement because I just
it was
feel like that's what we've really been experiencing.
Thank you.
Well, I think I like the idea of the potato chip. Because if you're too thick, you just get thrown out of the bag. Who wants that?
All these thick chips that you get.
Yeah, I know. You go, oh, that was no good. Okay.
Well, Sandra always likes thin potato chips.
Yes.
She always makes sure we have some in the house.
Well, those double folded ones, those are always so good.
Anybody else want to speak to this?
Yeah, I'm trying to
What?
find the sentence I was It really turned me
Robert,
on.
stop
Oh.
moving the thing.
There we go.
Ugh.
You're making a seasick.
Yeah.
Just because I'm scrolling up and down on the big screen,
Yeah.
there's no reason to throw
But
up.
as each experience, challenge, and triumph leaves its mark on the map of your existence, your spirit unfurls and stretches, embracing the intricacies of life. And boy, it's just that. There, in the last 35 years, there's been so many experiences and challenges, and each one is a fold, and it's a map. In fact, even today, last night, I was looking back at experiences that I enjoyed, and I was trying to bring them forward to now, and I realized that I couldn't because
Wow.
they're significant to that time.
Oh.
And so, in other words, there's a map back to those
You
experiences.
actually already creased that and you're on a new fold.
Yeah, but if I want sovereignty, I have to keep unfolding new experiences
Wow.
and stretching and that type of thing. And so I love that little sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
Mm.
So it's real close because I've just experienced it in the last
24
few
hours.
hours. 24
Yeah.
hours I've experienced it.
You feel like though you're in an exercise thing, folding, unfolding,
Uh-huh.
up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
But actually, that's what keeps you limber,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and where you can connect to Gaia and limber. You actually have a conversation with your toes and your
Yeah.
fingers
right.
and your head.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
love how you've connected that dialogue with self and dialogue with the body, with as you do your
Mhm.
bending, stretching, and holding and folding, and I love that last line that it is in surrendering to the creases that you discover your own power, and emerge as the unwavering ruler of your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I love that. So when we stretch and do yoga in the mornings, it's like, I love that surrender to the creases, so it allows us to bend
think
and
how-
fold and hold. And I love that.
And how casually said that when we do our yoga in the morning. Not everybody does that or has a community that's something that's important to them.
Mm.
But here we've been all these years supporting each other in the different practices that we have that are
Right.
together thought of but also individually practiced.
Mm.
So that just something as casual as that is like, that's really a hell of an accomplishment.
It's really true.
To have
isn't
a
it?
morning practice that
Yeah.
that we all do and at different rates and at different
Yeah.
times, but it's part of the sovereignty of togetherness.
Oh, I love that.
That is really true.
And if you live in in a family where nobody does that, you're hesitant. You feel naked
Right.
doing
Once
it
you-
in
Because
front
you're
of
the
them.
different, yeah.
Mhm.
Whereas everybody else within us, we just feel the sweetness of it, and we move on, and
Mhm.
and we allow each other room for that. Sometimes we do it together. Sometimes we do it by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, any kind of sacredness you can do in our garden, and
Mhm.
with and it's organic. It's part of it.
Meditation, yoga,
And you're not like
qigong,
somebody that's trying to look
Drumming.
holier. Yeah, drumming.
all of it, all
Yeah.
writing,
Yeah, gardening, talking to the flowers.
Mm.
Sandra's over there.
Cutting and trimming and
Yeah,
talking
cutting.
to the
Stretching.
dirt, talking to your toes.
talking
They
to
all have a reason for being there.
It's a sovereign environment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we don't go through all kinds of things, or we gotta, really stretch up and bend over tight. It's like, but it's a
You
normal
mean
part
it's
of our
not
life.
Right.
It's not a snap.
It's not a snap, and but also, we see each other when one of us is, or all of us, or one of us is going through a fragility, or a harder time with maybe the next level. We see them, their bravery moving on into the next level, even though it's not quite
Yeah.
comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
because all of us have done this.
Yeah.
And so we start seeing each other as seekers, and that we see each other when we're in a hard spot, that, oh, isn't that a brave spot?
Yeah.
And seeing and being able to talk to each other about it. And whether it's in our sacred life or the everyday life we do, or what we eat, or what we, it's like, or the new concepts we work with. Sometimes they're real easy, and other times they're kind of hard to
Real
take in.
challenging, yeah.
Yeah, challenging. and then we watch each other begin moving through that challenge, and it's not, it's like, it's, we can have compassion for it,
Yeah.
and it's really good to live with people that have enough compassion to see you as a seeker.
Yeah.
That is a sovereignty.
Yeah, and recognize your courage and your perseverance of
Yes.
being willing to go through it, the discomfort, because you want that next level so bad that you're willing to be uncomfortable for a while and to get out of the familiar old pattern that is comfortable, but you want the new pattern more, and so to leave that comfortable,
That pattern that
nest
used to
and
serve
then
you so well.
yes, but that no longer really is serving you, but you got to move on, but you got to take that step into the unknown.
And we're always learning within ourselves and within our practice within this work, and also absorbing other work that matches us in some level.
Yeah.
Right now we're all working with a series on confidence and meditations with it, and it's been very surprising. We're all doing it on
Lots
our
of
own
creases in it.
in our own
Yeah.
rooms. We got the program, and so we all have access to it, and it's really profound.
Yeah.
And the areas that you don't have confidence in, you don't even realize it.
Right.
You may have certain patterns that you're doing, but it's really because you don't have confidence to do another pattern. And so in it you go through that, and it was huge to me because there's a lot working with this work. Is how do you make this real to other people in the world, and how do you get your mouth right to say it right or present it right. And it becomes, over the last, after the pandemic, it's become a stressful kind of thing, trying to create income around something that is magical.
Yeah.
And in magic, it's just science not explained.
Yeah.
But
Love
it's
that.
also that we were reading, it's like, if you explain everything in the magic, it's not magic anymore. And there I realized that I was not in my future. I couldn't step over because I was trying to become less magical to become more appealing, to fit in. And I realized that I have no future without it. That I am magical. Was a magical little girl, a magical mother. I'm a magical 76-year-old woman. And it's too late.
It's too late for
I
me.
gotta get
Too
rid-
late to change
Go on without
and
me.
once I did, all the areas that I had no confidence in started showing me that it was that. And I have confidence in magic. And so I've had to change. It's really helped me. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't hear any negative language. Because the negative language was where I was trying to go to not be so magical. And now I'm just magical. I live a magical life. Our work is magical, and it will help us and heal us in a magical way.
Yeah.
It does. And I think that with all the work that we've done, all that we have surrendered to, all that we've given up to be living a life this way, part of it shows, a large part of it shows up in the long spoon. If we were doing it just for ourselves, that would be one thing. But the reason we're doing it for ourselves is to gain the knowledge, the information, the feeling registries, to then turn around and share it with other people. Because we know that the pathway, the journey that we've been on is of value. It is very magical. It is the antidote to a very unmagical world that is so angry, so frustrated, so
They don't know how to create.
Yeah.
discouraged. So they
Yeah.
don't know how to move to a new story.
Yeah.
And it's, but ancient at the same time. Magic is in everything. It threads it through all, and for it to come more to fruition, more to the forefront is what's it's very needed now. Very needed.
I know, Christina, you're going out more than you have for 3 years into the world and taking your magic with you back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that work? The creasing and the staying magical and not losing that and coming back and forth.
Well, I think it's fun to set up my laboratory in the car for the day, and have like pick a flower from our garden and travel with that, and have a little stuffed bunny and a rune that you all have made, and
Oh, I see that in the little thing.
Yeah, and little acorns and little leaves and feathers that I found
up
along
on the way.
And then we'll have the Kuan Yin oracles with us, and we'll have a little bag packed, and might have a little drum in it or little musical things. And
when you take your breaks.
And I found the my lunchbox is a great drum.
Oh, great.
So that's been really fun. And so kind of like just being able to create those moments of stopping and being with nature, and to kind of take in the moment more deeply, and to be present with my life, and be able to crease and fold in the in the moment of each day, really.
And you're out in Gaia. I mean, really of Maine.
Yeah, I mean the most beautiful places I feel like I've ever gone to, and so it's really fun to take pictures each day and be totally surrounded by all these incredible animals and birds and turkeys and deer.
It's amazing.
And just they'll just look at you.
Oh, that is
And
so
you just
wonderful.
have this gorgeous moment of.
I still.
So it's just been, it's been lovely being able to experience that, and then you get to ride with me.
That's what I was just going to say. I get to see, it's just amazing what she is seeing every day. People who live in Maine don't even get to know what all Maine looks like, and its beauty and vast diversity. And going down these peninsulas and seeing different coves and bays, and like she was saying, I mean, we'll just be going down this forested road to find this person's house that's like way out in Timbuktu, and then the deer will just come up and just like walk along the car, almost. And then and then we'll go to another spot, and there's all these turkeys. And then Christina's always, as she gets out of the car at somebody's place to deliver their coffee to their door, she's picking up things on her trail all the way back to the car. She came back to the car the other day with 2 turkey feathers, and she found an acorn, and there was a leaf from a maple tree that was starting to change that she loved. And so she comes back, and the car is just full of all these little treasures that she's finding that are part of Gaia that remind her of that.
And she's delivering coffee.
And she's delivering coffee
for Rock
make
City.
People happy.
Helping people to increase their consciousness through coffee.
Then, like on the days when I don't get to ride with her, we're talking throughout the day as she has time on the road in between deliveries, and I'll read her the alchemical mind that you've written for the day, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about the pattern that goes with it, and inevitably it's always spot on with what we're moving individually, like maybe me harvesting or processing things in the kitchen while she's out there delivering and working with people interactively. And
it's very origamic.
It's very origamic. So the creases
we're creasing, bending, folding, and holding.
Yeah. So the creases are happening in our everyday life as we encounter different challenges or different things that come up for us. We're always seeking to find the ways to make that crease happen.
Well, that's the key, is that the alchemy and the spiritual process has to become part of the everyday life.
Absolutely.
In fact, we began a blog this month, and I do the Alchemical Mind blog, but we have another one, and it's the alchemy of the
daily living, the creative life.
Yes, can you
the
say it better?
alchemy of daily living of the creative life.
Thank you, Sandra. And it is fabulous.
It sure is.
We'll have we've made them into flip books, and we'll probably put one on here that you can really. They're the collages, and we've expanded them and gone much deeper, and it really brings it like fully into your senses for your everyday. I absolutely. We haven't done this before, and it's been just fabulous.
Talk about choosing like an oracle or a message to inspire your day and give you something to sink deep into. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. I mean, the way it's just wonderful what you've done.
Well, you have to realize they're full of creases. Every
Oh my
flip
God!
book. That's what I was looking at. I thought the other night when we were reading and deeply listening, and I had the book in my hand that we were reading from the Traveler series. And I was so excited because I got to turn a page and see what's in that next. It's like a crease, you're turning the page and you've got the crease. So you always smooth it and you smooth the crease out.
Yes.
And then you turn the page, and each page is a gift. So, and I was thinking, like, at the flip books, you get the same sensation that when you press that arrow and it rolls over.
Rolls.
I like the little sign.
Yeah, and it just rolls over, and you got another new.
You get to see it.
fold.
See a new fold, a new idea, a new concept, a new
And it's a new
an
visual
unfurling and
registry
stretching.
of the alchemy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about that. So
Oh, I
God.
I just love that.
And I like the fact that
That's
you mentioned
wonderful.
that you share the alchemical mind each day,
Yeah.
because that really, for those of you on the Long Spoon, also the fact that there is the Alchemical Mind blog online gives you a daily reading of what is up and current
Yes,
for
yeah.
that day
So-
alchemically.
And you
So
can you don't have to go on
Yeah.
social media to read it.
No,
No,
It's
yeah,
a blog.
go right to the
Yeah.
blog.
Fabulous.
go to that.
You
So,
need
And
to
you
acknowledge
have
it
to.
and-
We have to say. A few months ago, I mentioned when the alchemical blog became very magical, and something happened, and we went from 350 to 10,000, and I thought
Visits.
this is
In a
visits to the blog in a month, and I just thought this is some kind of joke, you know,
fluke
it's
of
a
some sort.
fluke or is it a joke? There was a lot of people from Singapore that were going there, and I thought. Maybe they had a convention, and this is the funny thing in the convention.
I'll read
They're
it.
making fun of it now.
And they never said anything, but it was like really. And so then the next month, it was still fairly high, but it was nothing like that. And boy, last month it started climbing back up. And what did it come to last month? September.
I think
I mean,
it was
August.
9,200 something. That's just a blogger, but also correspondingly we put it on Twitter, so that's another 2,000. So that's 11,000 visits to the
11,000 visits.
So it's really increased.
In just a few months, from
Yeah.
350 to 11,000 visits.
And 11's a mastery number.
And I think
That's
And it's
pretty
also
good.
happened since we started doing these. What is it we do with Mind Valley? It's
the Silva
Ultramind.
Ultramind.
yeah, the Silva Ultramind,
Silvermine.
where you actually go into deep meditation and you put up a screen and you put up whatever you're wanting or what you're worried about or whatever, and then you put it all up there and as vivid as you can.
That's what I wanted to point out.
And if you can't imagine how it happens, you just give it up to source, your God,
So-
whatever.
So for the blogger, just the blogger, right now you're at 7,028 visits, and today is only the 4th day of the month.
Wow.
Oh
So
my gosh.
it's really, and you had 2,033 visits today and 2,362 yesterday. So it,
And they're
it's-
from all
it's
over the
really,
world.
really
Yeah.
increasing. So it's like word is out,
Mm-hmm.
and so the need is registering. The need is there, and it's fulfilling a need and a desire and what is wanted. So that's
And this was posted in the morning too, wasn't it?
yeah.
And so I finally have accepted it's not the latest
It's
joke,
not a fluke.
and it's not a fluke, and they aren't over in Singapore just laughing, or in all over the United States, because that's all increased, and there's a lot of people on Twitter. They're from all over, and
Yeah, the planet.
and
the
I
planetary.
certainly appreciate Singapore. And today, when I went to the Goodwill,
Oh,
I found
that's
one of
right.
those little fold-out puzzle things, and I picked it up on the side, and it said Singapore,
Oh my god.
and I got it.
If you don't connect the dots of magic, you don't get
That's
magic.
magic.
Yeah, you gotta
stuff.
follow the trail.
Yeah,
The synchronicity.
thank you.
Yep.
That was. I'm so glad we got to talk about
Yeah.
Yes.
the
yeah.
change in
So
that.
being sovereign through the creasing, through being willing to
Stick with it.
be acquainted with fragility and resilience at the same time. You know,
Yeah,
that's
we
pretty,
have to.
pretty incredible.
How does the garden help you with that, Sandri?
The fragility or the
Both, all of it.
all of it. Fragility.
Sandra is become the key gardener.
Yes, I have totally given my attention and compassion and passion over to the garden this year, the garden plan. And I can't, when I get up in the morning, after doing all the little essential things, the first thing I do is go outside and walk the garden.
That's why they say that in the first hour you should get yourself in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Get outside.
Get out there in the sunshine, but walk it. I mean, and circle everything, even the
That's
front.
what I used to do at Valley
Yeah,
Hill.
and I
Walk
remember
the-
you talking about that, and it's
walk the acres of
it's
flowers.
become. And I even the other day or other night, I started in my garden journal listing things that I want to remember from this year for next year.
Oh
So
wow!
I've created a garden diary for 2024. Things that I've seen that I can, that I need to understand and know
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't, but I've learned this year.
Oh my God!
So
That's
I've
really
become
good.
a lot of my sovereignty. I think has
It's made your
expanded.
body sovereign too.
That's
Yes,
that's
right.
a
Really
practice.
seen a
Yeah.
huge change. In,
That's the deepening of a practice.
Yeah, the
When
deepening.
you go,
Yeah,
when you sit and sink into it deeper and deeper,
yeah,
and then you become more and more aware of the minute and the large at the same time.
right.
It just really
Oh, and there's so
informs
much
you so much.
minuteness in the garden,
The itty bitties.
the itty
Oh.
bitties, and just even seeing a plant change a blossom or become a blossom or have a blossom come up all of a sudden when it's nothing but leaves and just like, oh my God, look at that.
it is
You
so
know.
magical.
It is. It's just
So I loved
Beautiful.
having acres of flowers.
yeah.
So fun.
That's so cool.
Well, and then Suzanne, you go into the you and Christina in the morning often go into the yoga area
Oh yeah.
of the garden. It's really sweet to know you're doing that so
Yes.
easily this year.
Yeah.
How y'all
we
like
get
that?
Up, we get up pretty early so that she can get off to work, but to have time to do that, and then we work with Sandra. But before we go, but the time in the early morning garden with the light in a different way has been a really new thing for us. Something that we've really wanted, but always had trouble getting ourselves up and out to do. But how it has fed us and given us a place to start in the day, and a place when if you wake up into some uckies and you're just, if we get ourselves out there, it's like we've really talked about the fact how, the mother, the goddess, is such a support to us, and Gaia is the mother Gaia, and she holds us in her arms. It's like the mother nurturing you, and
Well, we definitely feel held in being inside the garden in that space.
so
too,
we
'cause
feel
we're
nurtured
just
and
completely
supported.
surrounded by just incredible, beautiful gardens in every direction. So I've got this hula hoopy thing that I've been doing, and so I do this little hoopy thing, and as an exercise, and I'll look at one part of the garden. Well, it's around my creases. So the hoop thing fits around my crease, and then I get to take in that part of the garden, and then I turn this way, and I take in this part, and then I turn around the other way and take in the other part. But we're just like literally just being inside the garden is
just
been
being held.
such a gift.
The red fence has made
very
such
nurturing.
a change.
Huh?
The red fence this year has
It's
So
been
made
really
a huge
slick.
change. And
Yeah,
it's
really,
Nice to
Safety
have that
felt
privacy,
real.
too.
Yeah.
really guarded and really supported. And I'm glad that you brought this up, because there was another part where we were talking that I wanted to mention with the yoga, in
I can't see them.
being able to stretch. When doing the stretches, it's been a new level for me this year of recognizing that I am taking literally through my physical body my desire to reach into another space.
Mm-hmm.
And so being willing to all those places where my muscles or joints are really tight and not where, it's where I want to go. So, but I love how I know that my intention every day of stretching into those moves, I'm like rocking myself back and forth between the old pattern of the tightness, the constriction, and into the stretch, into where I want to go and what I'm folding into. And it's such a revelation. It's like for your body to register that it's capable, step by step, day by day, inch by inch, that you finally, that stretch that you couldn't even start to do at the beginning of the summer or a month ago, that you're getting closer or actually have achieved it,
Oh, that's so
and
good.
it's
I've watched
such
you
a
actually.
thing.
I've watched you actually be able to trust your body
Yeah.
so much more. Where if you find a stretch or something that feels a lot harder than it has been,
Yeah.
that you'll be like, "That's okay. I'm just gonna breathe into it, and I'll get there."
Yeah.
It's like there's this much more of a trust and much more of a dialogue that you're not trying to be like, okay, well now I gotta
I'm
make
gonna
it.
make myself
I
do
gotta
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
stretch
get
it
there.
I'm gonna really stretch it too hard
Make
and
it
hurt
happen.
yourself and
Power your way through.
Yeah.
and
power.
it's really cool that
Yeah.
I've just been able to watch you
Oh,
just
that's
kind of really just trust and just
Yeah,
know you'll
thank
get there.
you.
But it takes ease to get there.
Yeah. It's like
too,
really
so.
become a living metaphor of what I want spiritually and what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
Ease,
to.
not
So
force.
I love
It's inspired
Mhm.
me too, because if I feel like, ooh, that's a little tighter than I want, you'll be like, it's okay,
It's
just
okay,
breathe,
you'll
you'll
get
get
there."
there.
Something I would love for you all to share. I know it is the practice the three of you all do in the morning. There's a lot of people in the world, husbands and wives and families and children and mothers and fathers, would benefit with this kind of practice early before the day starts. People wait until they're falling down late in the day and then they notice it. But can you all share with him? You all get together, the three of
Sure.
you, every morning before you start your day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually meet in my room because I have a bed placed where it's easy for them
You can
to
get
sit
all the way
down
around
and
it,
lay
yeah.
down when doing chakras. But I always have the room prepared and have enough light. But I also put on the trigger stoppers, which is part of what you all have done.
The morning
You do in the
meditation.
morning.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I
slideshow.
didn't know
And so
that.
we
Every
put that
morning
on,
we get
and
that, all three of us.
so visually we can all watch it.
It's
you
a
know, and
meditation
see
that works with
Mm-hmm.
patterns in a
Right.
slideshow that are trigger stoppers. They
Yeah, they
stop the
get you
triggers.
right first thing in the morning.
And it's
where you can-
origamic, so
yeah,
it's different
yeah.
every day, which
Right.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then they come in, and Suzanne and Christina, and Suzanne is really good because she brings in the Touch for Health book and the laptop and all the little tools, and Christina comes in with a singing bowl and the
And
thing.
we have
And I'll
our
let them
phone.
talk about that, but
Well,
so we
it's
just
like
kind of
we
have
try
a
to
routine.
hit all the different things that we might need to shore our fields up, our energetic field, our physical field, our emotional bodies. And so each of us, we go between doing Reiki, Touch for Health, and tuning chakras. And those are the three main body work things that we do and energetic work that we do on each other. But we always start in the morning with usually Christina will do the singing
so we
bowl
have
for
some
us
sound healing so
to
we've
get
got
the field
singing
clear
bowls, and we also
around
have a
us.
chakra
Wow.
tuner that will, but from Jonathan Goldman, that will tune our chakras if
While
we
we're
are.
working on.
So it's like kind of multi-leveled
We're
healing
doing
all at the
sound
same
healing.
time. So
We're doing the visual with the trigger stuff.
tapping.
Yeah, and then
That's
so
awesome.
we
Yeah, a lot.
each of us will tell. We just ask ourselves what thing that we need that day, and sometimes it's just Reiki. Sometimes you'll say, "Oh, I need Touch for Health today," so I go. I've been the designated one where I go through and check each person's meridians and see which 3 are down that they need work on, and Christina usually, but I can do it too.
Suzanne trained you.
We've been trained.
It's like a mapping, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
mapping.
Yeah.
So
And
we-
it's the map of your existence.
Yeah.
If
So
you
we'll
were-
take turn. Each one of us gets some kind of work that we hear that we need for that day, to where we're feeling kind of down or fragile and need some shoring up to be ready for the day. And then we've
At
got
the end, we do a tapping.
do a
too.
tapping.
So we tap. It's kind of like when you start a storyline and you add a little part of a story and then another part of a story. So then eventually you have this whole big story. Well, we have about 10 things that we say for each
tapping point.
each tapping point, and it's really cool because it's like I guess it's just another way to oracle to ourselves and also reclaiming our power and
Oh, we should say what
yeah.
it
What
is.
do we actually
We
let's
say, I have no
I have no resistance to
to the gifts, the guidance, the miracles, the Rubik's Cube, the evolutional vision, and the new content of this day,
and
I reclaim my power.
Oh my God,
we say
that
that
is
at every-
powerful.
We
All the
say
time.
that at every tapping point, for those that are familiar with emotional freedom tapping. And then we end with, and I deeply love, honor, and accept myself.
and I ask for unconditional love for myself, our community,
the world, and all of our projects.
Oh my gosh, that is immense.
And
That's
when we do the
fabulous.
singing bowl, we do the 10 of 10 for the bells.
Oh my gosh.
So we invoke all the 10 of 10.
No.
Yeah, the knowing, the feeling. Oh,
Yeah.
And we do all that in between 20 and 30 minutes.
oh gosh,
We
it's
try to
Wow.
get
So
it
it's a
out. We
corrugated-
multitask as
it's
we
corrugated.
have the
Jam-packed.
so
frequencies
jam-packed
going.
creasing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is awesome, and then your day's all set up to meet you, and you're not like dragging around trying to, get out of the first thought that came when you woke up.
Yeah.
Well,
And
you've
send
given
Christina
us that
off with
guidance of
lots of
how
cheer.
important that is.
Uh-huh.
What's that?
I said we can send you off in the morning with
Yeah,
lots of cheer.
Yes, it's true.
That
The
woman,
outside world.
this is a busy family.
And sometimes I get to sit in Sandra's chair and it has a heating pad in
Oh,
it.
yes.
So that's like therapeutic on
Yes.
itself. Sitting in the hot seat.
On the hot seat, that is so cute. I know when you come down, you all look wonderful, and it makes a difference, and I can see it, and it's wonderful to see people you love get time to support each other.
Yeah.
I mean, Robert and I
rare.
do a lot. We do,
I was going to say.
yeah, we do things before we get up, so that we can sink into the work, and we can. It's
You mean we don't just throw ourselves out the door?
no,
Yeah.
we can't.
No.
We can't.
But-
You guys,
Yeah.
you have like 100 things corrugated down to one single half an hour. It's like unbelievable.
We're gonna try to do
You
all
all
these
could do
little
a
things.
whole book on that.
Oh gosh, well, I think it's wonderful. I think what we've
Thank you for
shared
sharing
is
that.
not only idea, but how we emulate that idea
Yeah. Every
in our
day.
life, because
Yeah.
and it's in the daily life, because there's lots of things written on a lot of things, but there's not as much living inside of it.
I was going to
And
say, it's one thing to have an idea, but to live an idea
Yeah.
is a whole
it's a
different
whole
thing.
new thing.
Mhm.
And we hope that the
And
long
it gives you
spoon
time. that way.
assists everyone that comes to it in that kind of way.
Do you know
That we
when
do
you,
a mix of ideas and the livingness of those ideas.
when you come across a new idea, which we hope we're sharing through the long spoon, it's new to a lot of people. But when you come across a new idea and you take it on and you begin to live parts of it, you have to slow down to do it. And when you slow down, you gain time. It is the only way you will ever gain time is by slowing down. It's
Wow.
a paradox, but
Yep.
if you don't have two doxes, what is the life worth living for anyway?
It's true. And it's like in all the sweetness that you all are, and your families know you are, it's come with a big price
Mm-hmm.
to be able
Life
to do
giving
the
up to a lot.
things that you all do with each other and do for yourself, and that we all do. It's had a big price to it, and we have had to survive the creases
Mm-hmm.
and the depth of the creases, and we've had to move through fragility, and also
The
criticism,
unexplainable.
unexplainable, and criticism when it's not understood. And so it's like this isn't like a walk in the park, but it is certainly worth doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here if it
No.
I
wasn't.
know it.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
we've gained from it.
It's like surrendering your career is just like being a little kid going in, like in a movie where you see a little kid at a train station and they're heading off somewhere on their own, okay? And so they push their $1.03 across the counter for a ticket, which obviously is not going to do it, but the effort is there.
Mm-hmm.
When somehow the magic of the movie unfolds from that because of the actions that are taken. So
And the belief.
so when you surrender up a career and move into the magic, a lot happens.
The career takes on a new flight.
Mm-hmm.
Takes on a more
And
realness.
becomes a different thing.
Yeah.
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 Becomes
Yeah,
a
Just
just
much
like
different
if
thing.
you want to heal, it's like you have to have room
Mm-hmm.
to heal.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to heal others, you have to have room to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think this is all
So
come.
It's here in the it is this, in the surrendering to the crease
It's
that you
becoming
discover
sovereign.
your own power and emerge as an unwavering ruler of your own destiny. You hop your own train.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Kind of sums up the whole conversation, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Is there anything else anybody wants to mention?
I just love that first line.
Yeah,
It's like you embark on a transformative
do,
journey
yeah.
that leads you towards sovereignty. I just feel like that really, if anyone wanted to know what this is all about, like I just feel like that really just is in a really nice little nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like that little kid that gets overwhelmed and wants to run away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you never can. I mean, it's like I can't tell you how many times over the 35 years all of us have felt like that, and afraid that the others aren't, and then worried that maybe it's gotten too hard and maybe each other won't survive it, and worried about each other getting through. And then at the same time, it's like I can't tell you how many years I had a runaway bag,
Yeah.
and it made sure I didn't run away. I guess because. I never used it, and I was so glad.
I was never good at running away. I can remember as a kid getting ready to run away, and I'd filled a little suitcase because I'm a little kid. I'm like 5 maybe, and I filled the suitcase with all my favorite things and hid it under the bed, planning in the middle of the night to steal away. Right, well, sleep right through the night, completely forget about running away the next day. And it was like months of trying to figure out where all those favorite things went.
Oh my gosh!
So I was never good at running away.
Oh,
So I'm giving it up.
God, that is so funny. No, in my runaway bag, everything went stale in it. Oh God, we've all felt that overwhelmed. We're afraid that we'll go in the bathroom and one of us will have just completely given up. They're there and they've drowned in the. It's just like because you're scared for yourself and you're scared for the people you love because they're having to dig deeper than most people ever do, and it's like it's like it's like going off, repelling. And,
really.
and that's the realness of it. And every day you wake up and it's new and it's different.
That's the magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's magic.
Yeah. Has that?
Well,
Yeah.
that is a
feels
good,
awesome.
well-rounded
Thank you so
Is
tabletop.
there anything else?
I think you covered it.
Okay.
Well, happy
Even the runaway
September,
bag.
everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
So enjoy the long spoon. There's lots in here, and we have several flip books.
Oh yeah, we have a great
enjoy
slideshow
and a
of
slideshow.
all the magic of play in our house.
Yes. So
So,
enjoy and drop us a line. We love hearing
Yeah,
from
and-
people.
and everybody, there'll be not only our articles, but Christina and Suzanne have an area where they put
Their
whatever
blog.
their blog and
Mhm.
videos or what they do. And then Sandra's doing a lot more garden blogs, and she has a space too. So if anything we do is getting kind of long, what we're doing is we'll have a special area for it in the picture, and then we'll put
So it's kind of folded. It's corrugated.
a link. So it's more corrugated,
Mhm.
so that we can work with more, and you can find yourself around.
Yeah. So, well, I think we did very well.
Okay.
Well, thanks
This
for
has
listening.
been Tabletop.
Good
Thanks
night.
for
Okay.
listening.
Well,
Happy September.
happy
Happy
month.
September, all of you.
Yeah.
Sweet souls.